Hey, look, I get it. When you're moving to a new area, it can be extremely difficult to determine what neighborhoods you want to move into. Yeah, it's really easy to find homes online, but what about the surrounding communities, the top hot spots, as well as things like schools? Well, today, by popular demand, I've been getting a lot of requests to do a Scottsdale schools video. Here it is. I'm going to tell you about the top rated schools in Scottsdale, where they're located, how they're rated, and I'm going to tell you about some of the surrounding communities for those schools. And we're going to get after it right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Todd Hall, founder of Phoenix Homes and Hotspots, right here in beautiful, sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. If it's your first time visiting the #1 real estate resource here in the state of Arizona, and you want to know everything there is to know about the great homes, the beautiful communities, and the top hotspots that surround them, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel right now, then smash that bell, and that way we're going to notify you every time we create new great content videos to get you more familiar with the Phoenix Metro and Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, look, we're constantly getting phone calls, emails, and texts from new clients from all over the world. They're asking for more homes information as well as Scottsdale neighborhoods info, community tours, and some of our favorite hotspots tours. So if you're moving to Scottsdale, Arizona, or thinking about moving to Scottsdale, all you have to do right now is pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we're going to be happy to give you the keys to our city. All right, so you've done some research on Scottsdale schools. You're thinking about moving out here to Scottsdale, Arizona. You've done your research, and now you're saying, well, you know, my research tells me that Arizona schools aren't necessarily amazing. Well, that can be true. However, in the Phoenix Metro, the Scottsdale school systems tend to be some of the better schools here in the area. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through each zip code. There's 9 different zip codes here in Scottsdale. I'm going to take you through each zip code. I'm going to tell you about the schools. I'm going to tell you about some of the communities you might already be familiar with, some of the more popular communities and neighborhoods that you've probably heard of. And so I'll tell you what communities are in those areas as well. But before I do that, quickly, just know that Scottsdale is 31 miles long, north to south, and 11 miles wide. So it's a very big district. Like I said, 9 different zip codes. And it's important that before we start this, you understand how the school system works here. So if you're coming from states like California, as an example, you're going to find here we have what's called school choice, meaning that if you end up living in a area or a district that you love the area and the neighborhood, but you don't necessarily love the schools, you have an opportunity to take your your children out of district, right? So the way that process works is it's called open enrollment, and that's typically done either from a first come, first serve or through a lottery. Okay, so you're never guaranteed to get into the district you want. However, you do have that as an opportunity and an option. So we have the public school system. We have a great public charter school system. The way that you get into charters is done strictly through a lottery system, but you can get your children into the public charter school system. And of course, we have private schools here as well. So there are a lot of options. Again, Scottsdale known for some of the better schools here in the Phoenix Metro. So right now, what we're going to do is go through this, all of the zip codes, like I mentioned, and we're going to talk about the schools. We'll talk about their ratings, where they're located, and some of the communities that might fit into those schools. Now, at the end of this video, make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a link for all of my Scottsdale videos. So if you want to know more about neighborhoods, communities, and some of the hot spots and those types of things, I have lots of Scottsdale videos. So I'm going to give you the link at the end. So stick around till then. But for right now, let's dive into the schools. All right, here we go. Talking about schools. The first thing I want to tell you is that you're going to have questions when this is done. You might have specific neighborhoods that I don't cover in this video that you want to know what the school, what schools your kids would go to if they lived in these neighborhoods, and what what the ratings are and that type of thing. So what we do, if you're a client of ours moving into the area and you have a home that you like or a neighborhood that you like, we'll run these school reports for you. Okay. Now, of course, you can always give us a call and we can run reports or give you more information, but these school reports are pretty cool. This is Chaparral High School, kind of in north central Scottsdale, and it gives you all the ratings and all of that stuff. So, and lots of different statistics of each school. So anyway, this is something that we do give our clients if schools are important to you. All right. So let's jump over. Let's talk about Scottsdale schools. We're going to start in South Scottsdale and work our way north. To the west of Scottsdale is Phoenix. We're going to talk about a couple schools in Phoenix and in Paradise Valley right over here. Because if you're living in Scottsdale, it's possible that you would go to a school in the Paradise Valley School District or over in like Arcadia as an example. And then just south of Scottsdale is Tempe, and Arizona State University is right down here if you're following my cursor. So let's jump in. Let's talk about 85251. I don't want you to get disenfranchised with these schools when we first start out, because you're going to see that, remember, if you've watched my other videos, you know that homes as you get further south are older and more affordable. As you get further north, homes get newer and pricier. Same thing with schools, though, by the way. Schools to the south tend to be not rated as high. As we get further north, you're going to see much higher ratings. So again, don't get frustrated or disenfranchised with the schools as we start out, because we are going to get further north where the school ratings go up. All right, so let's start in 85257, South Scottsdale. Current median home prices in South Scottsdale are $402,000. And when we jump into schools, we're going to start with Hohokam Elementary School. Now, I use two different websites when I'm rating schools. The very first one is greatschools.org. I use that for the ratings. And then I use School Digger that gives me an actual rating out of all the schools in Arizona. So Hohokam is kindergarten through 6. 454 students, 14.6 students to teacher ratio. One of the things you're going to see also is the lower student to teacher ratio. Typically, the better the school is rated as a general rule. Doesn't always apply, but typically you're going to see that. Great Schools rates it a 7 out of 10 stars, and Great School Digger rates it a 314 out of 1,039 elementary schools in the state of Arizona. So again, we're going to get into some schools that are much better than this, but that is Hohokam Elementary in 85257. Now, moving across further to the west side of 85257, we have Tonalea Elementary School. This is kindergarten through 8, 860 students. You have 16 student to teacher ratio, and here you go. Great Schools rating has it as a 4. So the student to teacher ratio went up, the rating went down, and School Digger has it a 766 out of 1039. That's in the bottom 50%. So again, don't get frustrated with that. Just know that there are better schools. And remember, even if you lived in the school district, you do have school choice here in Arizona. All right. And then the high school down here is Coronado High School. It's in 85257. This is 9 through 12, 896 students, 17.2 students to teacher ratio. Great Schools rating 3 out of 10. And it's rated 265 out of 285 Arizona high schools. Okay. So, some of you may choose to live down here, and there's a lot to like about living in 85257. We just need to figure out the school situation, whether it's charter schools or taking your kids out of district if the schools are important, to you. All right, now moving from 85257 just to the north to 85251, this area you may have heard people refer to as South Scottsdale, downtown Scottsdale, or most commonly referred to, as Old Town Scottsdale. So let's go through the schools down here. Now, we're going to break this down into two sections. So right here is Scottsdale Road, if you're following my cursor. To the east side, you have, as a general rule, these homes are more affordable. Okay. Most of these homes were built in the 50s. Same thing with the homes down here in 85257. So a lot of these homes were built in the 50s and 60s. So we're going to break it down into two different sides, because this side is going to go to one high school, and then the west side is going to go to a different high school over here in Phoenix or in the Arcadia area. So let's jump into the schools. First and foremost, on the east side, we have Pima Elementary School. This is grades kindergarten through 6, 430 students, 13.5 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it 7. School Digger gives it 345 out of 1,039. Now, just to the north, we have Navajo Elementary School. This is a K through 6, 339 students, 12.2 student to teacher ratio. So that's a pretty good student to teacher ratio, but the rating actually drops just a little bit. So it's Great Schools is a 6, School Digger's a 387 out of 1039. Again, you won't see that very often where the student teacher ratio drops and then rating drops. But this is one of those rare times that you actually see that. Now, as we move over to the west side of 85251, let's go over to Echo Canyon School. Echo Canyon is a K through 8, 389 students, 13.1 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 4. School Digger gives it 476 out of 1039. And then from there, we're going to go over to Hoppy Elementary School. And this is in the city of Phoenix. Now we're moving over into the Arcadia area. So if you live on that west side of 85251, like I mentioned before, you might be over in that Arcadia area. And the schools over here tend to be much better. So you can see with Hoppy Elementary School, 700 K through 5, 742 students, 19 student to teacher ratio, and Great Schools gives it a rating of 8. School Digger 55 out of 1039. So really good school there. Also over in the Arcadia area, we have Ingleside Middle School. So Ingleside Middle School is a 6 through 8. 837 students, 18.1 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 6. School Digger gives it a rating of 187 out of 605 middle schools in the state of Arizona. And then as far as high school, if you live over on the west side of 85251 Scottsdale, you have Arcadia High School. This is grades 9 through 12, 1,675 students. Now, high school is your student to teacher ratio is going to go up. So 22.4 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 9. School Digger gives it a 9 out of 10, rating. And then the School Digger gives it 151 out of 285 Arizona high schools. So a little bit of a discrepancy between the two there because School Digger actually kind of rates it in the bottom half of 50%, whereas Great Schools gives it a 9. Again, if you have questions, we'll run a school report for you and get you more detailed information than that. All right, now continuing to move to the north, we're going to move up to, where are we going next? Oh, hang on. Sorry. So before we do that, one of my favorite, I didn't cover a whole lot of subdivisions here in 85251, mainly because, again, you have, in 85251, you have a nice mix of condos and single family homes. We have a lot of new condo developments that have gone up in this area. One of my favorites, areas down here though is Southwest Village, which is over on the west side, and I always point that out because it was my very first neighborhood. A lot of investors buying up this west side, actually all of 85251, but primarily this west side over here of 85251, and doing complete remodels on these homes. So Southwest Village is an area you might want to check out, and it's literally walking distance down to Scottsdale Road and a lot of the best restaurants and nightlife and all that stuff. All right. Now, moving on to the north, we go up to zip code 85250. This is an area that I call Central Scottsdale. Current median home prices are $432,750. As far as schools, the first one we're going to talk about is Pueblo Elementary School. This is a K through 6. 476 students, 13.2 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it an 8 out of 10. School Diggers rated 115 out of 1,039. So really good school there at Pueblo. Moving a little bit over to the west, now we're over in the Paradise Valley. Okay, so this is the part of the Paradise Valley School District, just a little bit, just a few blocks actually west of the Scottsdale border. So we're not getting way out of the area. We're still right there in that vicinity. We have Kiva Elementary School. This is K through 6, 485 students, 15.9 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 7. School Digger gives it 179 out of 1,039 Arizona elementary schools. All right, moving back over to the east now, Mojave Middle School is a 6 through 8, 894 students, 14.6 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools is a 7. School Digger 166 out of 605 Arizona middle schools. And Saguaro High School. Saguaro High School is 9 through 12, 1,206 students, 19.3 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 6. School Digger is a 63 out of 285. So those are your schools that sit in or around 85250. All right, to the north we go. We're going to go up to 85258. This is again what I refer to as Central Scottsdale. Median home price is $553,230 in this area. So you can see home prices are going up. Remember, the age of the home is starting to increase here. And again, schools are pretty good. So as we move into the schools, we also have some really nice master plan communities that we'll talk about in 85258. So Cochise Elementary School, K through 5, 572 students, 14.7 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 9. School Digger, 54 out of 1,039. So really good school there at Cochise. Next, we move over to the east side of the zip code. Laguna Elementary School is K through 5, 409 students, 13.5 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 7. School Digger gives it a 105 out of 1039. And then we go just a little bit to the south here. We're going to go, so those are actually the schools inside of the zip code. Now, if remember, just because you're in the zip code, you're going to go out of the zip code for your high schools, middle schools a lot of times. So let's talk quickly about McCormick Ranch. There's a couple master plan communities that you've probably heard about in this area. The first one's McCormick Ranch. Median home prices, $563,260. This is a really nice golf master plan community. And then the next is Gainey Ranch. Gainey Ranch is a resort community, resort gated golf community, and the prices jump quite a bit here. So to get into Gainey Ranch, you're looking at a median home price of $721,720 to live there at Gainey Ranch. All right, so let's go north. Next zip code we're going to talk about. One more community here, Scottsdale Ranch. So that is over by Laguna Elementary School. Median home price is $511,220 at Scottsdale Ranch. This is a nice little lake community, really great family community in there as well, and a moderate median home prices over there, $511,000. So that is Scottsdale Ranch. All right, moving. I'm going to take you next over to an area that I call Scottsdale East. And Scottsdale East is 85259. Some of the schools, some really great schools over here as well. So in 85259, first and foremost, we have Anasazi Elementary School, K through 5, 378 students, 15 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 9. School Digger, 61 out of 1,039 elementary schools in the state of Arizona. Next school moving to the south, we're going to go down to Mountainside Middle School. This is 6 through 8, 650 students, 22.5 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it an 8. School Digger gives it 68 out of 605 Arizona middle schools. And then right next door is Desert Mountain High School. Desert Mountain is grades 9 through 12, 2,094 students, 21.7 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 7. School Digger gives it a 52 out of 285 Arizona high schools. All right, just to the west, zip code 85260. This is an area that I call North Central Scottsdale. It's basically North Central. Some people you'll hear refer to this as North Scottsdale. For me, anything north of the 101 is North Scottsdale, so I call this North Central. You're not going to hear other people refer to it as that, but again, if you hear me talk about this area, it's North Central. Some really great shopping in this area, by the way. This is where you're going to run into Kierland Commons and I just drew a blank, Scottsdale Quarter. So again, right in this area, you're going to find some really great shopping. As far as schools are concerned, excuse me. By the way, if I didn't say it already, 85260 median home prices of $463,000. As far as schools in this zip code are concerned, we have Cheyenne Traditional Elementary, K through 8, 931 students, 20 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 9. School Digger, 27 out of 1,039 elementary schools in Arizona. Over to the west side, Sonoran Sky Elementary School. This is K through 6, 694 students, 17.9 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 7. School Digger, 132 out of 1,039. Redfield Elementary, K through 6, 481 students, 12.8 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools is a 7. School Diggers, 133 out of 1039. And then moving over into the Phoenix, or this would be the Paradise Valley School District, Horizon High School, 9 through 12, 2,173 students, 25.2 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 7. School Digger, 93 out of 285 AZ high schools. For me, everything north of the 101 is North Scottsdale. We'll talk about some of the more popular master plan communities and, of course, all the schools out in that area. So first zip code we're going to hit is 85255. Median home prices in this zip code are $748,600. As far as schools, we have to the south side of the zip code, we have Desert Canyon Elementary. This is K through 5, 463 students, 15.1 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 9. School Digger, 44 out of 1,039 elementary schools. Moving north over to the Grayhawk Master Plan community, we have Grayhawk Elementary School. This is K through 6, 420 students, 14.3 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it 7. School Digger, 183 out of 1,039. Moving over to the east side, we have Copper Ridge School. Copper Ridge School is K through 8, 755 students, 17.1 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools a 7. School Digger, 98 out of 1,039 elementaries. Moving back over to the west side, Pinnacle Peak Preparatory. This is K through 6, 634 students, 18 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools is a 7. And then School Digger's 134 out of 1,039. And then Desert Canyon Middle School. This is a 6 through 8 middle school, 517 students, 19 student to teacher ratio. And Great Schools gives it an 8. School Digger gives it a 62 out of 605 middle schools. Pinnacle High School over to the west side, just beyond the Scottsdale border in Phoenix. Pinnacle High School is a 9 through 12, 2,635 students, 24.9 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools 7, School Digger 67 out of 285 high schools. Now you might have noticed that I missed Chaparral High School. So for many of you over on the east side, of this zip code, we'll be in Chaparral High School, and I'm going to go ahead and cover that I'm going to add it and cover it right here at the end. So I did miss it, but I'm going to go and circle back to it. Some of the master plan communities here. We have DC Ranch on the east side of the community, sits kind of at the foothills of the McDowell Mountains, $864,000 median home prices. Great golf community, 2 really fantastic country clubs, including Silverleaf over there. Then we have Grayhawk, another really nice golf community, more moderate prices, especially for North Scottsdale. Median home prices in Grayhawk currently at $552,000. And then moving to the north, we have Desert Highlands. This is, if you're not a golfer, you're not going to live in Desert Highlands because you have a $75,000 mandatory golf membership fee if you move into this community. But if you do like golf, you're going to love that golf course, and it's well worth that fee. Current median home prices are at $1.6 million in Desert Highlands. And then moving just to the east, the Troon community, median home prices throughout Troon are $889,000 right now. And again, really, really, really popular master plan community there at Troon. All right. Moving up to 85262, again, still in North Scottsdale, median home prices at $875,000 in this zip code. We're going to hit Sonoran Trails Middle School first. 6 through 8, 895 students, 26.1 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 6. School Digger gives it 135 out of, 600 and some middle schools, whatever that was. There's not a lot of schools actually in this district. So we're going to skip from here over to the next zip code. True North median home prices are $711,000 currently. Another really popular master plan community, about 13 different, I think there's 13 different subdivisions here and 2 really great golf courses, for really what's an affordable price from a home standpoint. Just to the south of that, we have Estancia. Estancia is median home prices are at about $3 million. This master plan community features one of the top 100 rated golf courses in the state of Arizona, ranked by Golf Digest magazine. And then moving to the north of the zip code here, Desert Mountain, 1.2, almost 1.3 million median home prices. There's 7 different. If you're a member, a resident or a member, resident and member. let me back up. If you're a resident, you automatically have to have some sort of membership, whether it's social or golf. If you're a golf member up here, you have 7 different golf courses to choose from. You do not have to live in the neighborhood to have memberships in Desert Mountain. There's private hiking, camping, horseback riding, biking trails, of course, golf courses, practice facility. There's a lot in this particular membership if you're looking for a golf and or social membership in North Scottsdale. And then moving quickly down over to North Scottsdale 85266. Median home prices here are $783,000. Few of the schools in this area. We have Desert Sun Elementary School. This is a K through 6, 401 students, 20.3 students to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 7. School Digger, 279 out of 1,039 elementaries in Arizona. Then we have Cactus Shadows High School. This is a 9 through 12, 1,883 students, 26.7 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools is a 7. School Digger is a 60 out of 285 area or Arizona high schools. A couple of the master plans you'll find up here. You have the Boulders. Median home prices at the Boulders is $723,500 median home dollars currently. And then I mentioned that I would circle back down into kind of north central Scottsdale. Chaparral High School is a high school that some of your kids will attend, especially if they're on kind of over in that east side of the 85255 or some different areas. But Chaparral High School, grades 9 through 12, 2,246 students, 22.6 student to teacher ratio. Great Schools gives it a 6, but School Digger gives it a 78 out of 285 Arizona high schools. So I hope that helped. That's an entire tour of Scottsdale, as well as the schools, their ratings, and all the schools, not only in Scottsdale, but around Scottsdale and Phoenix and Paradise Valley, where if you live in Scottsdale, Arizona, your kids may be going to school at those schools. Now, I promised you at the outset that I would give you my entire library of Scottsdale videos. So if you click the link right above me right now, that's going to take you to all the Scottsdale videos to get you familiar again with community, as well as some of the top hotspots out here. And of course, if you haven't already, do be sure you subscribe to our channel, then smash that bell. And every time we create new great content videos to get you familiar with Scottsdale, as well as the Phoenix Metro, you're going to get notified automatically. And then last but not least, do be sure if you're coming out here and you want more information, you want to set up your area tours or whatever that looks like, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. You can even drop us a message in a bottle, whatever method of communication works best for you, and we're going to be happy to get all that information out to you. Now, check out some of my other popular videos right here.